This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, did you hit record on that one too? It doesn't tell you, so. Technical difficulties. All set? All right. Good evening, the time being 6 p.m. I'll call to order the Tuesday, January 14th, 2025 meeting of the Tilton Planning Board. Let the record show that present
Thank you.
is the Selectmen's representative, ex officio Catherine Dawson, Christine Dembinski, and myself, Eric Pyra. Our first case was they requested a postponement, continuance. I will read their request into the record. It says, "Good afternoon. I'm writing to request a change of date for me to present the details of my subdivision to the planning board. I am waiting on some additional information and approvals that will be necessary for me to move forward. I would like to request April 8th, 2025 as a new date to allow for all necessary documents and approvals to be in my possession and fulfill my due diligence. I apologize for the late notice, but in consideration of the board and attendees' time, I think it is best to postpone. Sincerely, Brian Wujcik." Sent from his iPhone. So,
I'll take a motion on that.
yeah, so I'll entertain a motion to grant that request.
I have a comment to make before we
I have a question
grant the
too.
request. My understanding is that he's having the wetlands surveyed now. And our ordinance says that we cannot accept wetland surveys conducted from December 1st to March 31st.
So April might not be far enough for him.
April 8th, so he would be after. Maybe it's going to be done after.
They
I
can't be
don't.
conducted.
Pardon?
The survey can't be conducted, you said.
No wetland surveys conducted from December 1st to March 31st will be accepted as valid by the Tilton Planning Board.
So we should let him know.
So we should let him know. I mean, I guess we could make the date, but he may need to request an extension on that date.
Well, if they do it on April 1st, they get it into us in time.
Yeah, but he's having it done now. So it's,
And you
we
can't-
can't.
Well, we don't know that. He's requested a date. I don't know for certain that he's doing it now. We had to wait and see what the date is on the
That's,
on the
well,
plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just being fair. I don't know.
well, I understand.
I can
I
touch
think you
base with
should,
him.
you're going to inform him though.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So
I
we
mean,
can accept the date, and then if we have to change it, we
I
can.
would hope the wetland scientists would kind of know that, but I don't know.
I think around a lot of towns that have an ordinance like that.
Oh, really?
It also says permafrost. I don't think we have permafrost.
Last week we could have.
Yeah.
I can tell
Anyway.
you.
I think the reason they can't do it in the winters, because I had my property done, they actually take soil samples and stuff, and you gotta dig to or whatever, and
Well.
so.
Well, we'll keep that in mind for April 8th. So was there a motion to continue?
What was this date?
April
April
8th, 2025, which I'm going to assume is a Tuesday.
So he's asking for a continuance?
Mhm.
Yes.
I don't have the number, but I'll make a motion to continue
2501.
Oh, I don't have
2501? Oh. To April 8th, 2025.
the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. So we'll let the applicant know that we will continue to April. Do they have to renotice?
No, that doesn't have to be renoticed. It's
Okay.
on public meeting.
All right. So moving on, where's my agenda? Here it is.
Somebody named Luca just came on.
Oh, Hello, Luca. If you just came on for the a case on Clark Road, that case has been continued until April 8th, just to let you know, per request of the applicant. I don't know if that's what you came on for, but figured we'd let you know. But feel free to hang around. Let's see. Next is a workshop on the 2025 zoning amendments.
Which one are we amending? I got building permit and I got short-term rental.
There are three of them. Three.
Oh, there's three of them?
So the first one,
These two are the same.
Okay. Oh, my notes.
I have
Two building permit ones, same number.
and
Short-term rental.
I have one short-term rental one. I have two building permit ones. Was there something on another page?
Is the building permit one.
Yep.
It has some additional wording down the bottom.
Yeah,
Then there is the porta potty one that's section 10.5.2
Got it.
that needs wordsmithing. So
oh,
that
on this,
it's,
okay.
we know what it's saying.
This is,
And then the last one is short-term rentals. It's a framework that Pat pulled together with, trying to compile something so we have something on the books that we have a ordinance. So she's done some pulling from some different towns for some of the information. I'd say go to the easy one first, the building permit renewal.
Yeah, we'll go
agreed.
to building permit. So 10.2 currently reads building permit renewal. Building permits must be renewed 1 year after issue. If the work has not been completed, there shall be no additional charge for renewal, and variances and or special exceptions need not be reapplied for. The verbiage suggestion is 10.2 building permit renewal. Building permits expire 1 year from the date of issuance and may be renewed for one additional year if the work has not been completed, provided application for renewal is made prior to the expiration date. There shall be no additional charge for renewal, and variances and or special exceptions need not be reapplied for. If work is not completed after 2 years, the owner must apply for and receive a new building permit and will be required to comply with any newly adopted or applicable provisions of the New Hampshire Building Code effective as of the date of the issuance of the new permit.
Yes,
I think there should be a filing fee.
for this reapply.
I think
Yeah.
it's just say, we should just add, there shall be a charge of $50 for renewal.
I think we talked about that last time, putting something on there.
I mean, there is an expense.
There is, I just think it might say it in this sentence here where it says the owner must apply for and receive a new building permit. So they get, putting in a building permit, with-
Well,
Oh,
and that has a fee
That's a
attached.
but
fee,
no,
but I
no,
think the
if they
renewal-
come to the second year, after the second year, then when they come in to apply for a building permit, then they pay the building permit fees.
Yeah,
But I'm saying to get the
Renew.
extension, there should be a filing fee charge because there's an expense
we got
to us.
paperwork.
There's paperwork,
employees.
there's,
So you're saying that after 1 year,
right.
They can
Get-
renew
To get the
with a fee.
renewal, there should be some sort of filing fee,
extension fee or filing fee.
whatever. Yeah, however they want to label it.
I agree with Catherine because we do a lot of administrative work with those permits. I mean, you have to file it and everything. And sometimes they come in 1 and 2 years. So think about that. I totally agree with Catherine on that one.
I thought we talked about
Pat,
it.
do you think $50 works or should it be more?
Yes, on an extension, I believe $50 would work.
That just came out the top of my head too, so.
I like 75.
What is the building permit fee?
We just went up on them, so you'll have to
Yeah.
ask Janice.
Do we have
Currently, we
Tim's,
don't have a fee for that on the schedule.
do we have Tim's list?
Yeah, we have,
Well, we would have to recommend this to the Board of Selectmen and the board, but here's the next question. Do we have time to get that approved by the Board of Selectmen and get this before the public?
Are you meeting Thursday?
Yeah, well, yes. So Tim has, because are those the new fee suggestions?
Do we have a?
So
look up?
Christine asked, what's the building permit fee?
Oh, but it's maybe, yeah.
So if they come in for a building permit,
Thank you.
what they're going to do, so if it's an addition, for instance, it would be $100, for residential, it's $100 plus 40 cents a square foot.
Does it
If
say
it's new
that?
construction, it's $200 plus 40 cents a square foot. For commercial buildings, that's a
More.
different column.
Yeah.
See it?
so the building permit, you can see they're all more than $50.
Yeah. So I was thinking half. So when he said 75, that's why I said, well, how much is it?
Well,
And that's not even half, $75. So I don't see
I mean-
them arguing about it.
well, it depends. If it's new construction, residential, it's 200. But if they're just doing an addition of a living room, a sunroom onto their house, and they're doing it, piecemeal, it's only $100.
So maybe the selectmen can add a renewal fee on here. Or like they can say it's half off. Or, because how are you going to do this many renewals?
Because this is just a filing fee. It's not a building permit
Right.
fee.
Oh, okay.
It's a fee to cover the cost of, these girls work hard.
Well, they got to go.
Well,
They got to
it's-
go to registry of
Administratively, we
deeds.
have to track anytime we're putting out let's say new construction, use that as an example, of January 1st start date, and know that it's not completed by January 1st of 26. So we have to have those kind of guidelines in place on a calendar to be able to track, and it needs to be kept up to date.
So a filing or administrative fee.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
can label it either one of those. And, filing fee or administrative fee of $50.
So which one is it? Filing or administrative?
What do you guys like the best?
Filing shorter.
I like administrative. Just
Administrative is really what it is.
It's administrative fee.
Administrative fee.
Yeah.
I'm good
Yeah.
with either. Administrative fee.
Admin.
And where is that going to be in the amendments
There
here?
should be an admin fee for renewal, variance, and blah, 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 blah.
Well, there
Admin
shall be
fee
no
charge.
renewals.
So it should be administrative fee of $50 for renewal.
Can you repeat that sentence again? Currently says there shall be no additional charge for renewal,
Right.
in variances and/or special exceptions need to be reapplied for.
Yeah, so take out the
The and.
No additional.
no additional charge and just add in administrative
Okay.
There shall be
charge of $50, whatever, just make it
Well,
make sense.
there shall be $50
Administrative,
administrative fee for renewal, period. New sentence, variances and or special exceptions need not
Be reapplied.
be
for.
reapplied for. I can't say
Okay,
that.
so if you could write that out, I'll be happy to.
You didn't tell me how to write today.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
The only other thing with that is I don't know if you want to put the $50 in the ordinance, leave it on the fee schedule?
no, it should be in the ordinance because it's not a building permit fee.
Okay.
Hold on. There shall be,
A $50 administrative fee,
hold on,
whole period.
$50. I'm just writing admin. That's short for administrative
Yeah.
fee because my penmanship is horrible.
Okay.
for renewal, period. And then, do you know what 3 lines underneath the letter is? Capitalization. My English teacher taught me that in middle school. Variances and or special exceptions need not be reapplied for. Does that make sense?
Yes. Now, can we vote on this as amended so it doesn't have to come back?
Mhm.
Well, we have to read it again
Okay, read
into
it.
the record. All right. So 10.2 building permit renewal. Building permits expire 1 year from the date of issuance and may be renewed for 1 additional year if the work has not been completed, provided application for renewal is made prior to the expiration date. There shall be a $50 administrative charge for renewal, period. Variances and or special exceptions need not be reapplied for. If work is not completed after 2 years, the owner must reapply for and receive a new building permit.
So must apply, not reapply.
Right.
The owner must apply for and receive a new building permit and will be required to comply with any newly adopted or applicable provisions of the New Hampshire Building Code effective as of the date of the issuance of the new permit. Do they have to pay for another permit?
Yes.
It doesn't say that.
Doesn't need to because they're applying for a new permit. You have to get.
Okay.
Also, you changed the word fee to charge. Which one is it that you want, fee or
I don't
charge?
know. Administration fee. Sorry.
Fee, okay.
I'll cross it out.
Which one?
I crossed out charge.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'll give you this copy because
Yeah, that's good.
this is valuable.
I would still have the same question.
I'll autograph it for you too. All right. Any,
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the revised 10.2 building permit renewal as Eric read.
Second.
motion a second? Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Moving on. Motion passes. Sorry. Always forget to say that. Motion passes. All right.
Great. One
So
done.
that's done. I'm going to give you that back.
Which one do you want to do next?
I don't
Well,
know.
porta potty looks like a little paragraph. This is pages here, short-term rental.
Let's go on to the next
Porta
easy one.
potties.
Porta potties. That's something I can relate to.
I think the goal on this one is just to wordsmith it so that it's not as
Where do I have?
crappy as the porta potties.
The purpose for this is to get, I'm the one that brought this up after we experienced it. It was interesting. To add water to this, all dwelling units, all commercial, public, and residential buildings shall be connected to a sewage disposal system. Well, the sewage disposal system doesn't work without water,
Right.
so it doesn't make any sense without water.
To water and a sewage disposal system.
Yes.
All dwelling units in.
Connected to water and a sewage disposal system.
Well, it should say, what is it, portable?
Yeah, I was
That's a
just going to
word
say,
for
what's going to
drinkable
constitute
water?
connected to water? Is
Potable.
a hose going to be acceptable?
Mm.
I'm just bringing
No,
up,
yeah.
you know, the
And where are
opposing
they
point
getting
of
the
view.
water from?
Well, it's going for the sewer. Does it matter? Or does it matter? I'm asking.
I think it should. I think it should be,
Because I wouldn't want, if it's my private system, I don't want swamp water going there because you're gonna introduce all sorts of.
it should be, whatever language we put in here should indicate that it needs to be hooked up to the municipal water supply or a
Or well,
well, thank you.
Yeah.
With portable water.
Potable.
Potable. I always add the R.
Portable
Shall
is just
be
you can take it
connected
from
to-
here.
I know, I do, but I always add it.
It's a
Potable.
potable.
Shall be connected to municipal water or a well and a sewage disposal system?
Well, this one goes on to say, to discuss that.
Oh, has this been
So I
revised
think
here?
it should be added up here. All dwelling units in all commercial, public, or industrial buildings shall be connected to,
Municipal water?
should it say just a potable water system? Municipal or private?
Oh,
Hmm.
as long as
Would
when
that
they
be,
talk, I would know.
or
what
would
they-
it be a approved water system? Because again, I can, potable.
Isn't potable the word they use to describe drinkable?
Yeah, that's drink,
Hmm.
like, yeah,
It has to be drinkable.
yeah,
So it couldn't come out of a swamp or a lake without being treated,
right.
or a brook.
Well, like some people have,
I mean, I have a dug well and it has a high coliform count from the algae and stuff. So some people would say it's not potable. You see what I mean?
right. Yeah, but yeah,
Sometimes when I have the water tested, it's okay. And sometimes they want me to treat it.
no, but like some places have, or some residences and even businesses have wells specifically for,
Flushing.
no, for irrigation.
Oh, right. But it's not potable. I think this should say potable. I think it needs to be drinkable. Because otherwise,
You're introducing,
somebody comes along and they put in a garage and they hook it to sewer, they put in a well, but the well water's never tested because they're just using it to flush the toilet and wash their hands. And then later on, somebody else buys it for another purpose. Well, it's got sewer and it's got water.
but does that mean that I have to buy like a water, if it's a well water, like water softening system to make it potable, or
Not
do I,
necessarily.
or do I, can I run it through charcoal and make it potable? I don't know.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, my well is it's been there for 100 years.
right.
But like I said, sometimes I have to go through the bleach thing and sometimes
Hey,
I
you had to
don't.
bleach it.
Yeah, which is nothing. I think in my lifetime I've done that twice
Mhm.
to make it.
Is that the only water supply for your
I
residence?
only have wells,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, this happens to be a very shallow well. But like
Well, I
I'm
didn't know if you
saying,
had like another well that had drinking water, and this is a dug well for something else.
I have a barn well that's always come back perfect. And it's 10 feet from the manure pile. Anyway, but what I'm just saying is, when you have a well, it could be very simple or it could be very complicated. But it should be drinkable water. That way you don't have to come back to that building 10 years into the future
Yep.
and go, oh,
I think the other reason to consider it is people are going to use that to wash their hands as well. And if it's contaminated water, it could cause a
Yeah.
downstream effect.
It's potable water, or water suitable for human consumption, is water that can be used for drinking, cooking, hygiene, and other household chores.
Hygiene, yeah.
yeah.
And that's from Smart Water Magazine. So,
That's what I mean. So if we just change it to read all dwelling units and all commercial, public, or industrial buildings shall be connected to a potable water system, either municipal or private, and to a sewage disposal system.
You didn't write that down, Eric, because you have
no,
to read
I
it.
thought she was writing it down. Sorry. All right,
You
repeat
didn't
that
read the whole
again.
thing?
Sorry.
That's okay. All dwelling units and all commercial, public, That's interesting. I'm sorry. The one above just threw me. All dwelling units in all commercial, public, or industrial buildings shall be connected to a potable water system, either municipal or private, and to a sewage
Hold on. Either,
municipal or private. I mean, I guess we could leave out either municipal or private, because what else is there?
Right.
It just say potable water system.
no, I like it because you're defining. Because again, otherwise, it's
Okay.
it's a spring in my backyard.
Okay.
Okay.
Municipal or private.
Period.
No,
And to a sewage disposal system.
And to
Cindy's on now.
I just so I'm just gonna I just maybe made a quick little change.
It's okay.
All dwelling units and all commercial, public, or industrial buildings shall be connected to a potable water system, either municipal or private, and to a sewage disposal system.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay. So we're just gonna go over there. All right. Yeah, you're gonna hate me after this. When a public system is not available, a private sewage system.
Are we leaving that next sentence in? Oh, you're still reading on that one?
Oh no, so that's
That was line 1.
Okay,
that
yeah.
was line 1.
Yep.
Line 2. When a public system is not available, a private sewage system is required. We're leaving that one.
That leaves septic, yeah.
That's a
Portable toilets, commonly known as porta potties or outhouses, shall not be acceptable. There's an asterisk there. All right, I see that. The type, size, and location and construction of all septic tanks and drainage fields shall conform to all current rules and regulations promulgated by the New Hampshire Water Supply and Pollution Control Commission, and shall be approved by both the New Hampshire Water Supply and Pollution Control Commission and the appropriate town official. Approval by the NHWSPCC shall not be binding on the town, nor shall such approval by the NHWSPCC negate conformity with the aforementioned rules and regulations.
Nice.
Okay.
And may I suggest one other change?
No.
Not on that,
Oh.
but above it, 10.5.1, all residential structures shall be equipped with running water.
That can be any water.
Yeah, we should cross off running and put potable. Just that simple.
I gotta.
Yeah. So we're changing
Oh,
10.5.1.
10.5. Yeah. Well, that's a.
I mean, you can almost eliminate the whole sentence, but
No.
Can you reread what he's on the change where it says no portable potties? Can you reread what he just changed?
Sure. So this is in 10.5.2. All dwelling units and all commercial, public, or industrial buildings shall be connected to a potable water system, either municipal or private, and to a sewage disposal system. Period. And the rest of that stays unchanged.
And then you change 10.5.1.
Right.
And then our next is 10.5.1. Above it, we made a change. We're thinking about a change. We haven't voted on it. All residential structures shall be equipped with potable water as opposed to running water.
Okay,
So this eliminates portable potties altogether?
no, we're not
well,
on
they
that
were
yet.
already eliminated.
Okay, so
We
what
need-
about, let me just play devil's advocate. What about your seasonal
Mhm.
people,
Or an event at
like
Riverside Park.
lake, lake, lakeside?
We haven't addressed the portable
No,
toilet
right.
part yet.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought you just did. Okay.
No, we were just trying to add water to this.
The only other thing is 10.5.1 only talks about residential.
Right.
In 10.5.2, we're talking about commercial and residential. Do we
Yep.
want to add the commercial? in there?
No, it talks about dwelling
Public.
units, which could be apartments, not necessarily residential, single-family homes. You see what I mean? I wouldn't have written it this way, but it is, so.
Well, you can rewrite it any way you want now.
So like an event is usually not typically at a building that doesn't have bathrooms. So it's like, so I wouldn't worry about having porta potties for events. Because this is specifically saying when there's dwelling units.
Well, except you have in this in both portable toilets, commonly known as porta potties or outhouse, shall not be acceptable, period.
Or dwelling units.
But it doesn't say that.
Oh,
It should say portable toilets, commonly known as porta potties or outhouses, should not be acceptable substitutes for a sewage disposal system.
oh, yeah,
You see what I mean?
yeah.
That's because that's what they're saying. You can't have a portable toilet instead of a
Instead of-
sewage
yeah.
system. I don't think the intention was to eliminate portable toilets throughout the town.
But for, if they're making a unit, yeah, substitute.
Well, the town would be in violation of that because they put one over here, they put one by the ice rink, they put
Well,
one.
and that's probably why that has a lot of controversy surrounding it, is because people will say, well, if there's an event downtown, on occasion, there will be some porta potties. So,
But that event is not in regards to dwelling units.
true.
So that's a whole different thing. So I like the substitute, the sewage disposal, and this is only referring to dwelling units, commercial, public, industrial buildings, not events, not.
Right.
Then maybe the word shall is a very definitive word. Maybe it should not just, or outhouses shall, not shall, or outhouses will not be acceptable, or something to
Or
that
are
nature,
not,
because
or are not
are not.
Not acceptable.
substitute. I like the word substitutes.
Yeah, substitute
Yeah, I like that
for
too.
sewage disposal system.
Or permanent.
Yeah. They're not acceptable substitutes for a sewage disposal system. I think that takes care of it. What do you think, Pat?
I agree because we have events like weddings, people get
Yeah.
married at their homes and things like that. They will have
Mhm.
25, 30 people. They
Yeah.
put up tents, they put up a porta potty. They still have a completely, totally workable sewage system, but they don't want to overtax it. This is what they want to do. It's in and out in a couple of days. It's an event.
Yep.
And also look at, we have events over on the parks, National Night Out, things like that. So I think that it's a workable situation if we word it as not a substitute.
So how do we want to rewrite that
Okay.
bold,
Huh?
the bolded part?
No, I don't think this should be bolded.
No, there's
So
the part that's in here that's bolded. I thought that's where we made the change, the second change.
Yeah, we're changing it, but does it stay bolded?
I'm just, that's the point I'm referencing.
Yeah.
Because it's easy.
Portable toilets, commonly known as porta potties or outhouses, are not.
But it's bolded. Do we want to keep bolded
Yeah.
in there?
I don't. Well, yeah. I can
It's
go
like
either
it's
way.
highlighting that one thing instead of the
But-
whole thing.
Are
Well,
not
take out B.
acceptable substitute. I think because if I first read this, I'm gonna think, oh my gosh, I can't have the porta potty at my wedding. I can't go order 5 of them for the wedding that we're
Hopefully, you're going
having.
to finish reading the sentence.
I don't know what the else. Oh, see paragraph. 14.4.1.
That's on part of the conservation, that's the
Yeah,
14.1, did you
interesting.
say?
No portable toilets in the wetlands area? I don't know.
Is it point one? Or did it say point one? Or this is
1441.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering what the asterisk was for. And it's something about the wetlands conservation area district. But I could go with not bolding it. It's not any more important than the rest of any of the other language in that
Right.
I agree.
paragraph. It's all important language.
And like Pat said, Eric, you have, if you're having a wedding at your house, you have running sewage, water, but you're just
Yeah.
doing it for an event.
Yeah. Right.
And
So-
you're not having a porta potty for a dwelling unit. It's
So we're
for an
taking the
event.
word shall out and putting R,
Yeah,
and then taking the word be out.
Mhm.
BE. Okay. All right.
are not acceptable substitute for sewage disposal system. And no bold.
All right. So we have to reread this. I hope I get it right. Ready? 10.5.2. This is the proposed amendment. Or proposed, amendment.
Yeah.
Zoning regulation. 10.5.2. All dwelling units in all commercial, public, or industrial buildings shall be connected to a potable water system, either municipal or private, and to a sewage disposal system. When a public system is not available, a private sewer or sewage system is required. Portable toilets, commonly known as porta potties or outhouses, are not acceptable.
Substitute.
Okay, substitute.
Substitute for sewage disposal system.
Are not acceptable substitutes for sewage disposal.
Hmm?
Hold on. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to read this. Period.
Mhm.
The type, size, location, and construction of all septic tanks and drainage fields shall conform to all current rules and regulations promulgated by the New Hampshire Water Supply and Pollution Control Commission and shall be approved by both the NHWSPCC and the appropriate town official. Approval by the NHWSPCC shall not be binding on the town, nor shall such approval by the NHWSPCC negate conformity with the aforementioned rules and regulations. Period.
And 10.5.1?
Well, we got to vote on this one.
Oh, we can't vote on them together.
No.
Oh.
I'd rather keep them separate.
I make a motion to accept 10.5.2 as amended.
Second.
Motion is second. Any other discussion? We do have someone on the public.
Cindy?
Cindy.
No. Oh, yes, indeed.
But this isn't a public thing.
Oh,
Okay.
no, it's not a public hearing. Okay. Well, it is a public,
It is.
We get a
it's a
vote?
public meeting, but it's not the hearing for.
Yeah.
Okay.
All those in.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 10.5.1 currently reads, all residential structures shall be equipped with running water. Period. Proposed change, all 10.5.1, all residential structures shall be equipped with potable water.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. None. Cross that off. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion passes. All right. Moving on to the, let's go from the easy one now. We're going to go.
Yeah, I'm like, ugh.
Oh, boy.
Do we have an ordinance on short-term rentals? So this
Say
will be
it
a new ordinance?
So currently we
It
don't,
will be the framework for a new ordinance, yes.
Okay.
Something that we have on record that at least provides,
So it's not numbered?
right, that we'd have to assign the number.
Okay.
oh,
Land use
Yeah.
can assign the number so we don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it?
boy. All right. So
So 16, we can make it Article 16, XB, no, wait a minute, this is 16, so make it 17, sorry.
I'm not
So
good on
XVI. Is that on? I thought it was on.
It's not on
Okay.
it. Just wrote it on. So it's both sides of this. Wow.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Under approval criteria, no, where does it say? Application procedure, I don't think this should be allowed in all zoning districts. Even if it is with a conditional use permit.
Well, let's take this one line at one section at a time, and then we can work down. Because otherwise, we're going to go back and forth.
Okay, this is
So
any
I'll-
dwelling unit.
hold on. So I'm just going to read it. So it's short-term rentals. This section of the ordinance outlines the regulations for short-term rentals, STRs, within the specified jurisdiction. Here's a summary of the key components. 1. Definition. Short-term rental, STR, is defined as a dwelling unit rented for compensation for stays between 1 and 30 consecutive nights, where the property is typically a residential unit, not intended for regulated commercial use like a hotel, period.
So is dwelling unit like a single unit or can it be half of the unit? I mean, you're talking, can it be, or is it including
Could it
renting
be?
rooms?
Well, generally, I mean, it's anything between 1 and 30 nights. It's not like a
But a
hotel.
dwelling unit,
Right, like
Can
you
that be
rent
like
a
an
house. They're
apartment?
really referring to things like Airbnbs.
right? But
A dwelling unit in our definition is a residential.
Mhm.
It's not a motel or hotel. It's not a transient. It is
That's the word.
considered residential dwelling unit is for permanent use.
so this
long-term.
unit can be inside somebody's house.
What they're doing, this is addressing Airbnb, right?
Right, okay.
So if I have, let's say I have in either case, an attached or detached garage to my house, and I have what was an in-law apartment at one point, and it's got a spectacular view of my neighbor's trees. It's very beautiful. I got birds flying, tweet, tweet, tweet. Now I don't have an in-law living there. I don't have any kids, but I want to make a little side hustle, making some money. I'm going to put this on Airbnb, and I could rent this out.
Mhm.
Just
And that falls under dwelling unit?
that falls
That
under
falls
dwelling
under
unit.
dwelling unit?
Well, it is,
Where does it say?
it was a
unit?
dwelling unit, but then what it's being turned into is,
This is a garage
a
considered?
commercial unit because
Yeah.
now it's
Yeah.
being used commercially.
Okay.
It's for transient use. So to a quiet neighborhood, you're increasing traffic.
Right. But I could, on the flip side of this, which wouldn't matter to this, I could rent this, Christine's house floods because she has a pipe that freezes in February and it's going to take 6 months to repair. I could rent that out to her and so be it. It doesn't matter because
For 6 months, yes.
That's not transient.
I was
No.
right.
yeah.
Right, that's different.
Okay.
And you're renting it as it's meant to be, a dwelling unit.
Yep.
Somebody to live in. Not
But-
come and visit.
But as long as they stay 31 days,
Yeah.
It's not a short-term.
It's not a short-term rental.
Say again?
So,
If they stay more than 30 days.
no,
it's
the
not-
31 days.
Yeah.
So she checks it. She arrives at my house on March 1st. My fiction unit over my garage, and March 31st comes. She's no longer a short-term rental.
Well, that depends, Eric. Some towns have 45 days, some towns have 60 days. Most towns in the state of New Hampshire have 30 days. So that's why 30 days are
Right, but I just want to make sure so that if she stays in my unit above my garage for on through March
For 45
31st
days.
no 31 days.
Yeah.
March 31st
Mhm.
she leaves because her house is all put back together, and
That's
she's no longer
That's a
short-term.
very definite number, 30.
Right, and I
I
just
think
want to make
it's-
sure that
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I've seen a lot of these that say 45 days. It's just like in the because I can only refer to hotel business, but I believe in hotels, if you're there 185 days, you don't have to pay tax
Room and
anymore.
meals.
Rooms and meals tax anymore. If it's like 185 consecutive nights. So it's just one of those things. The little nitty gritty details of the rules and the laws.
Okay.
Okay. So does anyone have any issues or suggestions for changes on that?
Nope.
Okay. Number 2, purpose. The regulations aim to preserve the character of residential neighborhoods. 2, or next, protect the housing stock for year-round residents. Finally, ensure safety for short-term rental occupants or STR occupants.
Can we back up a little bit?
No, go ahead.
I just want it known that I don't agree with most of this one. I have Laconia's in my hand,
Well,
which is a lot more specific. It's much more
is
specific.
that in this packet that we got?
I don't know. I have a second one for some
No, I
reason,
don't
so
think
it might be.
So we have
I
all
don't-
kinds of stuff here. Short-term
I
survey.
had a second
Town of
Laconia.
Law- I have
Where was
town.
it from?
Laconia.
Laconia's.
Yes, but wasn't there challenge in
Did you
court?
submit it to them?
Short-term land regulations. I got Town of Alton.
On Wolfboro?
Oh yeah, right here. It is in here.
Is
It
it?
is in the
I
packet.
didn't use Laconia's because Laconia's they failed at theirs. There was some type of court thing, and I didn't get any answers from Laconia, so I didn't put any of theirs in.
Isn't there challenge in court?
There was something about a court. I couldn't get any answers from them.
There is, Laconia is in here, Pat. There, I
Yeah, I
don't,
got it.
I got
I
a
got-
copy of it. Yes, there is a copy there, but I didn't
Yes.
use it. to
oh, I see what you're
comply
saying,
with
yeah.
what I did in the framework.
Oh, and theirs looks like ADU, accessory dwelling.
Well, yeah, we don't want to use the ADU.
Right.
We already have a warrant, an ordinance on ADUs.
Mhm. Do, do.
There's quite a bit in this that needs some thought and maybe a little bit more.
Well, I do like, just in this first one, lodging short term in Laconia's.
Their definition?
Well, I'm reading it, makes me wonder. I know we have a couple, at least one boarding house. I don't know if it's still used as a boarding house, but it was approved for a boarding house at one point over up on Main Street. There was, I can't think of the house number.
That's gone. The one on the right?
Yeah, I can't think of the street number.
It was never approved for a boarding house,
I thought it was.
but it was being used as a boarding house. It was
Okay.
approved for apartments, but they continued to use it as a boarding house. And he finally, I think it was the fire department, because of safety violations, he ended up, it's now apartments. I think this,
Yeah,
I'm going to say 3. I might be wrong.
I don't know. I remember there used to be people sitting outside and all that. So
Health officer, it was,
I always thought it was a boarding house. Can't think of any
it
other
was being
buildings.
used as boarding house.
Yeah.
It was definitely being used as boarding house,
I can't think of any other buildings in town that are boarding house.
right next door.
Oh, is that okay? I didn't know.
Mhm.
Because I know we have a bed and breakfast in town, at least one. But they also have apartments there. Or dwelling units there. It's an interesting. I gotta read more of this. Resident, inhabitant, a resident or inhabitant of both the state and of any city, town, or other political subdivision of the state shall be domiciled, who have a place of abode or both in the state.
Laconia's goes into inhabitant, residence, multifamily. Do we really need any of that?
No.
Yeah, so the definition's still very similar, except for adding motel, rooming board, lodging house, or bed and breakfast. You want to add that?
So this is a complicated issue.
Mhm.
Yes.
If we, and there's a lot of, municipal associations, a lot of entities have weighed in on it because it is being challenged in communities.
With Conway's being challenged.
Yeah, so, and ours probably will be regardless of what we write. It's just parts of Laconia. It's like, they mentioned in here, I was looking for it somewhere, that where an ADU, accessory dwelling unit, has been allowed by special exception. Here it is.
Where's? Oh, I see it right here.
In all zones, both an accessory dwelling unit allowed by a special exception granted by vote of the zoning board of adjustment and the associated primary housing unit are prohibited from being used for short-term lodging.
Right, because the purpose is for the elderly or,
Right.
well, they can be short-term, just not 1 to 30 days, like a nurse or,
Well, the
For
ADU was allowed for a very specific reason,
right.
purpose, not for short-term rental. These ordinances are being written to preserve, neighborhoods, quiet neighborhoods and whatnot.
So,
I mean, an ADU wasn't meant to be a transient
No.
housing unit. And I believe you have to be a relative of the
Relative?
property owner.
I think, or, wasn't there student and medical employment or something?
No, I think in Tilton, you have to be a relative.
Oh.
I'd have to look it up,
so
but I'm wondering if we make, just to get this something going on the books, that we just make some rudimentary changes to this and then work on it through the year. And then next year come back with something with a little
little more
formidable.
robust.
Yeah.
I
Like
forgot, excuse me, Eric, I forgot to mention, when I talked with Lakes Region Planning to get some idea of how they started out writing an ordinance for short-term rentals, and they said less is more. And if you can get just what you want to get in there and then build upon that either every couple of years, just build up what you want, because short-term rental is so convoluted in what you want. And again, they're challenging everything in the courts today. And we have a significant problem in Tilton. There's over 100, almost 140 that we know of short-term rentals right now here in Tilton. But
Wow.
what the other issue is that they're selling their homes and advertising that there's additional income of 60,000, 70,000 for short-term rentals. So that's how they're selling their homes. So it's kind of convoluted in that they're also advertising their revenue as such. So if you, like Catherine said, I think that's the smart way to go myself. Go simple, but put some teeth in what you have in the simple part, and then either next year or the year after make the changes to it. At least we have something on the books that says, listen, we're looking into it here. Thank you.
So how do we feel about the definition? Is that enough to get started?
Yeah,
Use like a hotel instead of adding all these ADUs, motels, bed and breakfasts, or just leave it hotel.
I kind of like,
Laconia's?
yeah, just
The ending part. Yeah.
the ending part of it, just because of it. I mean, not in
Put rooming and boarding, but
it says not intended for regulated commercial use, like a hotel.
motel, bed
Or
and
no,
breakfast.
this just says, ours just says like a hotel. It feels like it's a
Stop.
stops, but there should be more. But wait, there's more. If you act now,
So
we'll
add
throw
bed
it.
and breakfast because that is short term.
I would just take Laconia's. I mean, it's close enough to what we have.
Yeah.
Do we want rooming and boarding? Isn't that the problem right there?
Well, I think so. I think we
What
should,
about ADU? Don't add that either.
because it says such as.
Yeah,
It should say such as, but not limited to. But I think that's what such as means anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't lay it out,
You're right. Such as, but not limited to.
because if it's not, people are literal, such as,
Commercial uses
but not
But
limited.
I would take Laconia's
Such
definition
as
and plug it in there.
Yeah, it's almost the same except for it added that ending stuff.
Well, then if we add, but not limited to, that's good.
Such as,
I like the purpose.
but not limited to, not. Yeah, I like
So
purpose is
I think
simple.
the only thing on that is if we are going to include hotel, motel, I mean, those are self-explanatory, but we probably need to make sure we have these other things included in the definitions of what they are. So rooming, you know.
I think we
because
have most of those.
Most of them are probably there, I agree, but let me just double check here.
And I believe I read someplace that this purpose is very important to this ordinance. I think I read that in the New Hampshire Municipal Association recommended this purpose, to write a purpose. Why are we doing this?
Application,
Application,
all
I don't think the
zoning?
Board of Selectmen should be involved in land use decisions.
Yeah, why is that saying that?
Where's this?
Number 3,
Oh, did we skip over purpose?
purpose we liked. You like it?
As it is now, I
Okay.
mean,
All right, no, that's
do you
fine.
see something we should add or change?
Nope. I just, I've lost my place. Bear with me.
And if it's land use, I mean, the Board of Selectmen wouldn't even get the application. It goes to land use.
Let's see, so it's $150 fee. Is that related on here?
No, it's not anything, we don't have anything for it yet.
It's a
Okay.
It's not a
conditional use
building permit. Okay.
So are we taking the next 2 bullets off?
And is the fee going to be a one-time fee for how many years?
Oh, yeah, and
Is it
how-
an
is it
annual
for a
fee? Is it a
year?
by rental fee?
I
How
would
is
say
that handled?
annual.
Um,
What do you think for the fee? Annual?
Laconia has, I just read it. Approval for short-term lodging use will be in effect for 2 years from date of approval. It must be renewed every 2 years from date of first approval according to fee schedule defined. So they have a fee schedule.
Yeah.
where do you see the fee schedule? Give me a page.
Pat, what do you think? Yearly or every 2 years?
I think yearly.
I say yearly.
So add and renew.
The only
I
reason,
say yearly because they change so often, especially
yearly.
in the seasonal area.
well,
Paying 150.
the other thing is further down, you're talking about New Hampshire rooms and meals tax, and those are issued fairly confident on a annual basis,
DRA.
DRA. So
Okay, so
but that's another.
apply for operating us here paying $150 fee.
Annual fee.
Well, they have to apply for the conditional use permit annually, which will include the 150 fee.
Where does it say annually in here?
No, we're doing that.
Oh, we're adding it.
So, so the conditional use permit is good for 1 year. STRs are allowed in all zoning districts with a conditional use permit. The owner must apply each year for the CUP before operating and paying a 150 fee. There you go. Must apply each year.
Catherine, you had some problem with all zoning districts?
Yeah, that's
Really?
kind of,
Yes. It shouldn't be allowed in all zoning districts.
Should not be allowed in
I mean,
industrial.
shouldn't be in the industrial, shouldn't be
so
downtown,
it should say
shouldn't be
residential.
in the village district. I mean, it shouldn't be in the agricultural.
Well, I can
I'm in
see the
agricultural, though.
agricultural. I can see agriculture.
Yeah.
If
got a
you
lot of
think
problems.
of what it is, it's a
Tourist thing.
commercial rental transient unit. It's a motel room.
Mhm.
Short
So
term.
we don't have motel rooms in the agricultural area because it takes away from what it is.
Yeah.
You know, if I buy 6 acres up there and put a house on it, I don't expect somebody to have a motel unit that people are partying and, you know, in and
Yes.
out, and blah, blah, blah.
So a lot of
You have to
neighbor-
think of how it disrupts a residential neighborhood. And your master plan talks about these types of uses along the Route 311 corridor.
So what district?
Where's my book? I don't know. What is that? Resort commercial, regional,
That's right. I don't know.
blah, blah, blah.
Ooh,
I don't know.
So we have the village residential,
So it should,
mixed use, medium residential, rural agricultural, downtown, regional commercial, resort commercial, general commercial, and industrial.
I thought we had a zoning map in our,
I think we have
Regulation. no zoning map?
no, online there is.
Oh,
Oh,
something to copy.
so
Groundwater Protection District.
So if you go just under the chart of permitted uses and you say hotels, motels, inns,
Oh, good point.
they're not permitted in VR. They're not permitted in MU,
They're not. Oh,
which is
mixed
interesting.
use. Yeah.
I'll say why. They're not permitted in medium residential. They are not permitted in rural agricultural.
What are you looking at under?
I'm on chart of
Sure.
permitted uses,
Yeah,
and I'm under commercial.
Are you in the Tilton? Is this the Tilton?
Yeah, this is town of Tilton.
Zoning regulations he's in.
yeah, it's the,
Yeah, I don't know what
what
page it
page
is.
are you on? Are
2
you
of 4.
looking at right now?
This right here.
2 of 4.
No, I know that you're on that chart, but which page? Under what category?
Commercial.
In hotels.
And then I'm looking at line 5, hotels, motels, inns.
Oh, I see that.
So it's not permitted in mixed use, which is weird.
But it's not a hotel, motel, or inn.
Right.
It's very
No, but I
specifically
just-
stated up in one of
But
the
I'm just kind of using that as a, where wouldn't we allow a hotel? So industrial, it's actually permitted with a special exception. Industrial. Wait. Hold on. Yeah, special exception. It's permitted straight up in, which ironically, downtown. So we wouldn't want short-term rentals in downtown. Or, I don't know, well, it says regional commercial or resort commercial. But it shouldn't be,
Well, in some of those districts, they have, a rooming house is available, is permitted. So I guess maybe we have to do an analysis of that. What zones are permitted for instance, a rooming house? So they don't need to have,
Rooming house is usually a long-term rental
oh, is it?
as opposed to transient like a motel or a hotel.
Or you would want
Rooming
it.
house is typically like next door. Those people have been there for.
sorry, Pat, what did you say?
You would want it in the resort commercial because that's where you
That's
have
right.
a lot of the
Yeah.
houses that have
Yeah.
extra buildings, if you would, that rent out, sort of down by Noyes Road and all of those places.
So, resort,
Lakewood Drive.
I like your train of thought. Wherever there's hotels, or transient lodging is
Well-
allowed now, because this is transient lodging, that's where this should be allowed.
Correct. And you would want it into, up by,
So RG and
But if I have,
RC.
I wish we had a map.
RSG. I put RC there.
I know it.
I got one here.
so you want it over by Silver Lake Road, Ashalot Drive.
Right,
that
but I'm looking
zoning?
at other areas of town. Tilton. Give me a second.
Huh.
Tax and zoning maps. There we go. Zoning map. Doo-doo. There we go.
This is. Oh, no, this isn't what I thought it was. I don't think it should be allowed where we don't allow transient lodging
Okay, but
now.
I'm just, because I know this property. Next,
It's zoned.
it's zoned rural agriculture.
Oh.
Okay.
But remember, the zoning board of adjustment, people can go there to
Right.
get a variance and make their case.
But they have this property has a pond behind it, and that has a detached garage that I know 10 years ago they rented it out. I don't know if the new owners of the property rent it out. I don't know that, but they did, and I always thought, oh boy, that would be a nice place just to hang out because you got a nice little pond. You got.
But you have to think of the impact on that residential agricultural neighborhood. People that move into those areas don't expect businesses like this to pop up, because remember, this is a business.
But what about?
This is a short-term rental business.
But there are a lot of. They're starting to pop up, and I can't think of the right word. Harvest hosts, I believe, is what they're called. And they're like, people can go stay on a farm. They can they can park their RV and pay a fee for the night, or
to
sometimes
get a
it's for
permit.
free. But
A waiver.
they're generally farm establishments that allow people to stay on their property.
So if I
it
wanted to
sounds like
do
a
that
commercial
on my
business.
farm, I would have to go before the zoning board of adjustment and make my case.
Yep.
And I think that it could, because what you're saying is that you're thinking of properties that have these exceptions.
Right. So,
And that's
but
what the
it's
zoning
saying,
board is
instead of saying
for.
N, would we say S?
Special exception?
Oh.
I think no, I'd let it, be a little more difficult than a special exception.
Well, I mean, not permitted can still be overturned through
That's right.
through ZBA.
That's right.
But we don't have to advertise it.
No, but I'm just, but I guess, well, the other side of that is, okay, I'd rather have someone come to me versus, oh, it's not permitted. I'm just going to do it anyways and screw the town. They'll never know unless someone complains,
Well, and that's
but that's
what
That happens
happening.
with everything.
That's what.
Well, actually, they advertise on the Airbnb
Yeah.
websites.
Right.
So it's
Oh.
easy to identify, relatively easy to
I
identify.
don't have time to
them,
go
not
and look at those. I don't,
exclusively.
And does a dwelling unit include an RV, since you just brought that up?
No,
Because I know.
you can't live in an RV in the town of
Was it Winter
Tilton
Street?
for more than 30 days.
right. But if I just go,
Oh.
if I'm
So that's
passing
a-
through, it's
that's a
usually
sh-
passing
that's a
through. You stay
short-term
there.
rental.
You might stay a weekend or
Right. but that's
I
a
seen it.
commercial use to
Yeah.
a residential piece of property. That's what we're trying to regulate. I mean, you have to think of what we're doing is, you know, you have to think the master plan, what that design is.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not hotels
I
and
don't think our, I don't
motels in
think our
the
master plan
agricultural
touches on
area.
Airbnbs and things like that. I mean,
Right.
it's
So,
outdated for that.
but no matter what you call them, it's a transient room. Like a motel room is a transient room, a hotel is a
Not
transient room, an
camping.
inn is a transient room.
Right.
You know what they're doing at the Anchorage, are transient rooms. And you think of the impact that in and out is. I mean, keep it confined to the area where people expect to find it because it's allowed, not somebody that's been living in the agricultural area for,
Mm,
decades or generations, and all of a sudden next door, they now have a transient use
yeah.
taking place.
Well, I just like,
At least with a zoning board of adjustment, they have an opportunity to go there and say, hey, I like this because, or I don't like this because.
uh,
So RC and RG for now? For now.
Unless you want to include downtown where it's allowed, but I don't.
no, I don't think it should be permitted downtown.
Okay. And our GNRC?
RG, you're permitting it there? Hold on, RC,
RG.
RG. I set the map up. Darn it. Well, the other side of that is what about the mixed use?
I am surprised at mixed use.
That was one of the ones when I read that, I was like, really?
Yeah.
Because looking at the maps here, hold on, I gotta find.
Where is mixed use? Isn't it
It's
east and west of us?
yeah,
It's along the Route 311 corridor, right?
yeah. It goes up. I don't know what road that is.
Mixed use,
Mm.
there's some
It's only
down
two
on
little
West Main.
sections.
Yeah, it goes up one of these little side roads. I think it goes up like Jocelyn or up that way. You know, the little dirt road, the two private roads, because it looks like there's like a little finger of mixed use that goes up. Like it doesn't tell me the street.
That's interesting.
Yeah, see here, mixed use goes up this road right here. And I remember at one point we had someone that wanted to build apartments there at one time.
On the right-hand side.
So kind of between
Yeah.
the old police station and Lowe's, that little stretch there.
I would leave, again, I would leave it RG and RC and let the zoning board.
Do with special
Have at it.
exceptions. And we can modify yearly or whatever.
We can look at it,
Yeah.
and I think we should look at it.
So it's going to be STRs are allowed in RC and RG districts with a conditional use permit. And then the second one, the owner must apply each year for the CUP before operating an STR, paying $150 fee.
Is it each calendar year or is it a year?
That's a
full
good
year?
point.
What's that?
Calendar year or the year from when they apply?
Easier is just to do calendar
I
year. 'cause
agree.
it's everyone
Yeah,
comes
because
in
otherwise they're going to have
January,
Yeah.
to
We'll-
monitor
We'll have to monitor everybody.
each calendar year.
you're going to need a whole system just for those.
The calendar.
Remember that the land use department only has a maybe not so much the capabilities of tracking all of this information as well. So
Yeah.
But
because
no,
there is quite a bit of it that does happen in the off season, in the summer
So
months
you could put
especially.
renewed annually in January or annually in
Yeah.
June.
I just say January. Just what's your slowest time of year?
Now,
So January.
The owner must apply
I was just thinking June is crazy.
each year in January.
But it's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
So each year in January, the application.
I would, if you're going to
Okay.
do it annually,
All right.
make it easy.
And if they want to apply in, let me pose this question. If they want to apply in October,
They have to reapply in January.
but okay, I can come in October and, okay. So
Yeah.
their first one is any month they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
but
that year.
To
Okay.
renew is
Yeah.
every
Yeah, yeah.
January.
Not prorated.
Not
I
prorated.
wouldn't prorate it either now.
We gotta get
Right.
the land use of money. Just kidding.
It goes to the general fund of the town. The unassigned fund balance.
Oh, here's the next part.
So wait,
Yeah.
we got to remove the board of selectmen before the
Both
application.
lines.
I don't, yeah.
Yeah, that was an error. When I was trying to transfer over, it got messed up. I thought that was eliminated. It really should be land use.
So it would read,
Oh yeah.
Well,
Is it
is
gonna
the board of-
require approval or they
Are the
just get
board
the
of
permit?
selectmen gonna have final say? I don't.
No.
No.
No,
No,
we're removing
that,
those
that's
two.
error.
Just
Okay.
remove the bottom
She
line.
was copying and pasting.
Okay.
Body,
Remove blah, 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 blah.
is this requiring planning board approval or land use like permits are normally?
I think it has to be.
I'd say,
Well, they would go to no, because it's gonna go to zoning board.
not
Now,
if they're in
let me
this
ask you this
district.
question: are they gonna have to come in for a site plan?
Yes.
so is this a planning board or are these building permits? Where are they going to fall?
The planning board.
Okay.
They come to the planning board.
Well, they also go to the ZBA.
They can go to the ZBA for a special exception.
First,
But if
they
they're
would go
they're in
that, go
RC,
like they
RG.
do today. They go to
Right,
zoning
but
board. if they
otherwise,
have a-
everyone comes to the planning board regardless, and it's a site plan review.
If that's all they have. If they are in RC or RG, as we just said, we're going to be the two districts, then yes, that would be a correct statement.
Yeah, so that third line should say I think, the Board of Selectmen, yeah, the land use department will forward the application to the planning board for review and approval. I'm glad to hear that was a mistake.
But wait, it sounds like they could skip the ZBA. So I would have to, you'd have to
No,
put
because so-
ZBA
They
if
can't
applicable.
approve if it doesn't
Right.
match the
So if you
ZBA,
come to the planning board,
they don't need ZBA if
and
it's RC.
they don't need
RG.
ZBA.
Okay, but we're covering everyone here.
But,
So if they,
so you could put,
I just want to make sure we're covering.
how is it,
If it's not RC or
I'd have to
RG,
look
the
up-
land use is gonna say, hey, you gotta go to zoning.
right, you'd have to go to zoning.
Yeah, so that has nothing to do with RC
But
and RG.
why make them come to us and then go to zoning? Now,
That's for people who want to do this in the
RC
approved
and
RG and
RG.
RC.
Only.
It's just like, okay, for an example, I have two pieces of property. Well, I got more than that. I got a piece of property across the street. Let's say I want to put apartments on it. Okay. I'm not going to come to the planning board because it's not allowed. I'm going to come in and make an application to the zoning board of adjustment for a special exception.
Then she can go to the plan.
Yeah.
Then if I get approved by them, then I'm going to come to the planning board.
Right.
So that's already written into the
well,
regulations.
we've had multiple instances where people didn't know they had to go to zoning. And
That's what they come in here for.
no, I know, but we've had it where people have had to, and then it delays them, because they come in, now and it's not enough notice to get them on next week's ZBA. So now they got to wait until
Yeah.
February and it delays them. But let's make that process for someone a little easier, because they only have so much time. And
That might have been
Same
prior.
problem with
Yeah.
everybody that comes in. though, for
Prior land
planning.
use.
I think they're doing really well now.
Yeah. We
no,
haven't had any-
But that's a good point you make.
I'm
I mean, we can't change the process.
no, I'm not criticizing anything. I was just saying,
Yeah,
let's, it's frustrating
it
on
is.
the applicant side and it makes it like we're being difficult and we're not. And we're trying to get them to the right place at the right time. That's why sometimes people come in conceptually and we say, okay, you got to go here, here, here. Oh, geez, I didn't know I had to go see the ABC fund,
Yeah.
board because
And that's why they do conceptuals.
you know, I didn't even realize that.
Do we have a sentence for that one?
I don't know.
Land use will forward the application to the planning board for review and approval.
You have that, Eric?
No, but I'm going to rely on her in a minute.
Have you been writing them?
No, I have not been writing these.
He hasn't been doing it.
That's okay.
I haven't been doing it.
Oh, I just
Hold
wrote,
on.
this one's Laconia's, I know that,
Hold on.
but I don't think you can see my writing.
Hold on. Give me a second. Land use will forward
The
the
first line, you're just changing all
application.
zoning to RC and
got
RG
that.
districts.
to
Second
the.
line,
Hold on.
after apply, see, oh yeah, land use will forward the application to the planning board, so you only had to cross off this.
I just land use.
And then review and, yeah. And then the second line,
The second.
after apply, it's gonna say each year in January. Oh, you're right. It does say the owner must apply each year in January. That's not right. Because if they come in October, the owner must
The
apply
The renewal,
and renew each year in no.
yes, the
apply.
renewal is yearly in January.
So we gotta change that. The owner must apply for the cup before operating, paying $150 fee.
And renewing each January.
Yes, and
And renew yearly in January.
On an annual basis in January.
There you go.
oh, fancy. Renew in January on an annual basis.
Hold on, in January. Hold on. You're not here. All right.
It's a phone call.
That's a
That's
lot
line is
of.
crossed.
Yeah, I got it. All right. Holy cow. Approval criteria. Owner information, contact details for service of legal process.
Contact deals for service of legal process must be provided. What's that? We have to serve them? Oh, in case we have to serve them?
Owner information,
I like
contact
the
details for
affidavit.
service of legal process must be provided.
What is that?
That's any business that
Any
comes to town
application's
has
gonna
to.
have that on
Well,
there.
we have a thing for businesses. We also have one for apartments. They have to, it's a state thing. You have to supply an affidavit so we know if there's an issue, who to contact for legal. It provides a lot of necessary information for contact.
So here,
I like that one.
this is where we get, well, the affidavit, just because is this all part of this owner information, the affidavit? Or is that separate?
Yeah, maybe it should be a colon instead of a period. Contact details for service of legal process must be provided.
I'm not sure why it says affidavit, because the one that the state requires that we fill out is from the state. And it doesn't really, it's meant for apartments,
An affidavit is notarized.
not for, and this one has to be, but
Oh, okay.
the affidavit we use is, like I said, it's not for transient housing. But to gather this kind of information would be important, and I think that's what they're trying to do here.
Yeah. I'll leave that one.
So you could just take off the word affidavit and say the owner must certify compliance with. Now, this one should say health, safety, and building code requirements.
Health, safety,
And
and
again, such as, but not limited to.
Right, but keep in mind that our fire department is a separate.
But we partner with,
No, I know, but it's just,
For-
we just want to make sure that it's not it's the Tilton Northfield Fire District, not the town of Tilton. It's not the town of Tilton's fire department. It's the,
Right, but that would be
Yeah.
for land use to
yeah.
instruct them, where to go for the safety. They're the ones that enforce that, and then the health officer of the town and the building codes.
But there should be a,
We do that now.
well, it says the owner must certify. Wouldn't it be, they must have an occupancy permit?
Then they would have fire involved.
Well, the occupancy permit comes from the town and it doesn't cover safety.
Right.
So it doesn't really
Well, what is
cover.
the fire department issue?
They have the life safety part.
They have they go out and do an inspection and.
Right, but in a lot of places they have a fire. You go to some place, and maybe that's a place of assembly. I don't know, and I don't know if that's considered a place of assembly.
Yeah. I know when I used to, I'm so happy to say that, used to do the housing standard inspections with the fire district. The life safety officers, it's like now Sean Mulvaney, they're so efficient, but he sends out, a notice to them, you're in compliance. After he does his inspection, and either they're really good or they have to do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
Then he sends out a letter, thank you for being in compliance. So that would be their proof to show to the planning board, I'm in compliance with life safety.
So planning would send them to health, fire, or
Right.
building code. Okay, yeah, I like that.
I don't understand the maximum occupancy limit based on the number of beds plus 2 additional people.
What number are you on, Catherine?
I'm right
Oh, right
underneath
beneath it, yes,
the next
sorry.
one
Yeah.
down. Maximum occupancy limit based on the number of beds. So is that one person per bedroom?
Well, your septic is per bedroom,
For bedroom.
maybe not
Number of
beds. Number
bedrooms.
of bedrooms is the septic, but what if you have 5 people in one room? But that would be under the safety.
I mean, so how many is the maximum for a bedroom? I mean, I inspected an apartment once. I got a phone call. It wasn't much bigger than this table, and there were 6 guys living in it.
And I've seen Airbnbs put like in one room, double bunk beds, and then a pull-out futon. So that's 6. Oh,
Well,
so can we say anything about a maximum? It's gonna be case by case? Because the Airbnbs have a lot in one room, one bedroom.
They do.
Sometimes
should
there's
it
kitchen
be-
and living room too, but. I've looked at Airbnbs for 4-wheeling, so that's how I know about the bunk beds and stuff.
I mean, is it 2 people per? I mean, like you said, a bedroom could have.
They had 6 in there, but you have access to a kitchen and a living room, but in the bedroom, they're trying to fit as many in that Airbnb. And honestly, it didn't.
well,
I've been in
There's
some
a-
and they're not crowded.
there's something coming up on this that I'm interested to see how we're gonna get around this.
Okay.
Oh, you in the Laconia one?
Yeah, because
Well,
the
let's
next,
finish this one.
well, it kind of goes hand in hand.
Okay, we're on the Laconia one.
No, I'm just looking here. So you have the maximum based on number of bedrooms plus 2. So they have to determine maximum occupancy of the dwelling unit. Floor space square footage shall be confirmed to conform to the city's adopted codes. And I don't know if we have adopted codes for city.
No, we don't.
But then the next line on our thing is about parking regulations.
We do have parking.
So determine maximum number of vehicles allowed per rental. Driveway capacity shall be confirmed. On-street parking shall not be allowed.
We do have parking.
We require 2 space.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I'm just gonna look it up.
Yeah, when we go to an Airbnb, this 2 for 6
Parking.
of us, and we only have
29.
2 vehicles.
So it's different.
This-
So if you do in-hotel cottage or bed and breakfast, it's one space per guest sleeping room, plus one space for each employee, which doesn't apply here.
No.
But if it's a residential dwelling, it's 2 spaces per dwelling unit. Then,
So
then you get
they
into
could have
other
2
things.
spaces per dwelling
Well, and the
unit.
thing about so, because we are talking about a residential home that's converting itself,
Right.
you can park anywhere they want on their private property. I do like
Still.
the no on-street parking.
Well, 'cause where I'm thinking is down along the lake.
Yeah.
You're gonna have, and I.
But if it's private property,
But if some of these people, they come in on the weekend. Hey, they're staying at the Hilton, right? And they got an Airbnb down on the lake, and all of a sudden, 10 people show up on Saturday afternoon because it's 90 degrees outside, and they all want to go in the lake, but there's only parking for 2 cars, and now you got 10 cars there,
They all parked along the road.
and they're all going to park along the road. But now we need something that's enforceable, that has some teeth, that says, hey, you gotta.
no off-street.
On-street
That sounds
parking
like a
shall
police
not be
issue to me.
allowed.
But if you don't
Sounds like
have
the
it in the
police-
regulations, it's not enforceable.
If they're parked illegally?
So if we have this, and we've gotten 25 complaints in the month of June
Mhm.
about, every night there's 25, or every Saturday there's 10 cars parked on A Street.
You ever gone down there on the 4th of July weekend? That's what you were describing.
Right, but now it was funny because I saw a post this weekend, Waterville Valley Ski Area, where there was someone that had that was accessible, that needed a wheelchair. They were in a wheelchair. They were confined to a wheelchair permanently, and their vehicle had. They were parked in a handicap space. Well, someone went to put their hazard lights on and parked behind them for over a half hour while they were blocking this person from getting into their car. And the police said, well, if you could have had the car towed, but by the time you get someone there, it's gone. Where if the police were able to go there, at least put a ticket on it, and whatever. I don't know what we have for parking fines in this town, but ticket them, make it enforceable, make it something.
And can we say no on-street parking? Because if there's
Yes.
parking spots there and it's legal, anybody can park there.
Well, it's like, I don't think Hill Road is marked no parking
So it's
along the
Well,
sides.
but you have to keep a road accessible for emergency vehicles.
Right, so
and-
you could essentially, if somebody did this there, he said that you could have 10 cars parked along there, and really they would reduce it to 1 lane.
Right. But
But it doesn't say no parking.
If this was your yard, you want to,
Well-
park cars.
So no
I mean, maybe
on-street
that's a
parking.
takeaway to take a look at some of the Airbnb, not only.
On-street parking shall
On-street.
not be allowed.
Yeah.
Simple as that. That's what Laconia
Then they
says.
can stay on the private property. Yeah.
I don't care where you park on your property.
Yeah,
I
they
got
wanna-
plenty of space.
Because the other,
I don't like people, so,
Yeah.
so nobody's gonna
Yeah,
park
you're in
there.
that camp too.
Oh, I like that. So under responsibility of owner,
Wait,
owners
wait, wait.
must ensure,
Wait,
wait
wait.
a minute. Owners must ensure proper waste removal, on-site parking.
And adherence to occupancy limits among other conditions.
So that goes hand in hand with what we just said.
Okay. So what about the maximum occupancy limit thing? Just leave it there and let fire or building code tell us?
that comes back
Well,
to
it's kind of subjective, isn't it?
well,
Yeah, like-
if I have 10 people, if I have the
If they're all in one bedroom?
well, yeah, but if they're all staying, all of a sudden they're having like a little sleepover for the 10-year-old birthday party, and the parents are staying at the hotel, but the kids are coming over to the Airbnb. to swim in the lake, and they're all sleeping, and all of a sudden you cram, 10 kids into a room.
Oh, sleeping bags, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it done.
Yeah, that was one of the things in the Laconia thing, which says no sleeping in the basement. And I'm sure that's for a fire safety with no
Oh, that's
egress.
Yeah.
unless it has
Yeah.
proper egress. It says.
Yeah. I have to say, staying in one bedroom with 6 people and but we had access to kitchen and living room, it's not bad.
Yeah, because it says right
We
here,
only had 2 cars.
no basement space shall be used as sleeping areas unless there is a properly.
Yeah, I'd leave it subjective and let health, safety, and building code
Yep.
decide.
I like to be specific.
I do too, but I don't know how to make that specific and
Mhm.
get through it tonight.
Right,
'Cause
no.
we're running out of time.
Yeah, it's 7:40.
And-
Holy cow.
So the first line, we got rid of affidavit and changed the owner must certify compliance with health, safety, and building code requirements such as but not limited to. And then nothing changed till the third one that says no on-street parking shall be allowed. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Proof of licensing valid. Proof of a valid New Hampshire rooms and meals tax license is required. That's absolutely.
Is it required?
Yes.
That's our. That's
Property sold, blah, blah, okay.
Back up. Parking regulations. I think we should make some reference to 3.5 in our book. I mean, who's
Well-
parking regulations?
Well, that's
Oh,
yeah,
right.
but who is it though? Are they going to follow under in hotel, cottage, or bed and breakfast? Or are they going to follow under
Yeah.
residential?
I crossed it off and just said no on-street parking shall be allowed.
So leave off parking regulations?
Yeah,
If you want to park 10 cars
Okay.
in your front
And
yard,
that
I
way-
didn't hear to
yard.
cross it off. I'm good with cross it off.
yeah, I crossed it
good.
off and just put,
Well, we just changed it to no on-street parking shall be
I thought we
allowed.
were adding it.
No,
So
no.
no, I'm
No, I
good.
crossed
I'm
it.
good. I
Okay.
crossed it right off.
Because if you want to park all those cars in your dooryard, have at it.
Yeah.
Maybe not in March,
are
but
we on the backside now?
no.
Yeah.
We did transfer of ownership as property is
Yeah.
sold.
Yeah.
That's okay. All right.
Oh, we crossed off affidavit, so submit their contact information and a new cup. How about that?
So what? Oh,
Conditional use permit.
Okay.
Submit if the property is sold, the new owner must submit their contact information. They should have their own conditional use permit also.
Well, no, because if it's a
The conditional use permit stays with the property.
stays with the property,
Oh, okay.
Thank you. This guy couldn't.
So,
I would just put contact information.
okay, and get rid of a new affidavit.
I have a question on proof of licensing above that first, which
Yeah.
is proof of licensing, proof of a valid New Hampshire rooms and meals tax license is required. Why would they need a meals tax license if it's
Because it's
Home.
not an apartment.
well, we're not going to make their dinner for them.
No, but
You don't
It's
have to.
rooms
But
In
if I-
hotels, you don't.
if you go stay at the Hampton Inn and your room's $100 for the night,
They're paying tax.
you're paying $109 or $108.50, however that rounds out to.
All right. so
What
they're
this
gonna get-
means is the owner has submitted to the Department of Revenue Administration
Yeah.
that they are now renting out
renting.
a transient.
They're on the up and up, and they're going to report that
Yes.
revenue to the state.
I don't see people doing that, but
No. And I've talked to DRA, it's a big problem.
It is.
and then we want to keep this owner's responsibility of owners. That's a good one.
So would that line staying the same as it is written?
I like that, and among other conditions, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Residential districts, number 6. In this district, oh boy,
STRs are limited to 30 rentals per
I
year.
would cross that whole number 6 out, because we just limited it,
Okay, number 6
to-
is out.
RG and RC.
Yeah.
so now number
Revocation of
No,
permit. and
7
penalty.
is 6, and 8 is 7, and
Yeah,
nine
unless we
is 8.
cross more out, yeah.
I would cross that all out.
just number 6.
Yeah.
So far, yeah.
That's good because I had a problem with it.
Revocation of permit and penalties. Failure to comply with reg can lead to permit revocation after violations. And asking, but can they reapply? After revocation? if they resolve?
It doesn't say they can't, so yes, I would say they can.
Okay.
With escalating penalties, what's the penalty?
So if this becomes part of our zoning, which is an issue that I was going to bring up with what we're doing now, you have two possibilities of zoning penalties.
What page?
I'm looking. I had it written down someplace, but that was months ago. I think it's under general provisions, page 19, I think is the first one.
That's what I was looking at right here, but I don't see
It's somewhere in there.
severance clause, interference with the ordinance, other ordinance. There's no, it doesn't say
No, it doesn't.
what the amount.
Not in there.
Oh, no, wait, sorry, back up.
Okay,
It says,
page 18, penalties for violation, 2.4.11. Did you find another one?
well,
Oh, enforcement.
yeah, it does. It says, and upon conviction thereof shall be punishable by a fine of not more than the state of New Hampshire maximum penalty for each day of the violation.
And it does say as per state law on what Pat gave us.
So you've got two right there.
What's it, what, you said page 18?
Yeah.
I don't see anything that has a,
So on page 17, you've
Oh,
got 2.4.10 enforcement.
yep.
And then 2.4.11 on the following page for penalties for violation. Now under general provisions, you've got enforcement.
His enforcement was on page 19, yeah.
And then I think in the wetlands, I found another.
Yeah, but that's wetlands. It's not.
Well, violating an ordinance should all come with the same impact, I think. I mean, the same penalty. I mean, if I violate, anyway.
It does,
But at least we've got something. I mean, we
yeah,
can.
and it says per state law, so we can use that for now.
Yes.
Complaints about nuisances or health risks can trigger an inspection of the STR.
So on revocation, should we put as per,
It
and what
says,
have we got?
That does say-
3.1.4? Is that the one with the state law? No,
No, that
no, that was on,
that was the other one.
oh, hold on.
yeah, that's the one with the RSA.
Well, revocation, that line doesn't refer to penalties. It's unauthorized rentals only referred to penalties.
Pursuant to RSA 676, any person from blah, 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 violates any of the provisions shall be charged with a violation. So once this becomes an ordinance, these
Apply.
cover this.
Yeah.
So we don't really have to add anything to it.
So leave it the way it is.
Leave it the way it
Okay.
is because it's covered. What's the STR?
Short-term rental.
Short-term rental.
That's
Oh,
his abbreviation.
She was thinking some code or something.
I was.
I know.
Too many alphabet soup.
Stir, the stir.
Used to be something I got was. The
I
Star
like,
Report,
I hate
STR.
these. Operating an STR without a valid CUP, without a valid cup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. No stirrer
So-
in a cup.
Let's say somebody's complaint and they're found not in compliance. Are we giving them a certain time? Because the person's now renting there. Do they have so much time to clear that up? Like 7 days or 5
So
days?
with life safety, those differ because depending on, what's going
Oh.
on. If they walked into the building and there were no smoke detectors and no, carbon monoxide detectors, he could take a very definitive action. He could close them down immediately,
Okay.
give them a
okay.
week, 10 days, blah, blah, blah. The health officer, depending on what it is, if they go in, let's say they find the septic isn't working or there's no potable water,
Yeah.
close them down immediately, or, monitor them fixing it, giving them, 3 days or whatever. It depends on the situation.
Okay. Accessory apartment use? Oh. So if it's like a duplex
Hmm.
and the owner owns both sides, he can only have a cup for one of the units,
Mhm.
which would make sense that it's in his primary dwelling because he's already renting the other one as a rental apartment. Yes. At least it's clear.
Yeah.
And then we already have purpose, so we don't need this last line. The ordinance is structured to balance the interests of maintaining neighborhood character, ensuring safety and regulating the use of residential projects. So that should be under purpose.
It pretty much is, but I like the closing. It just
okay.
reiterates it. That's just me, though.
Oh, I like it.
Was suggested in the language, if you look at
So do we have to make a motion to accept the amended?
I would.
We have it all written down, right?
Sure. There you go.
You can probably email it to us for a quick peek.
No, we can't. You can't approve it over. You can
I can
email.
look at it.
You can email it.
We can make a motion to approve this
Yeah.
short-term rental agreement as amended.
Yeah, that's what I mean, but if something's missing that we amended or.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
we just can't discuss the changes over email. It has
Right.
to go directly. You can't do reply all.
Right.
You
Because
have
then
to
you're making
do.
a meeting, yeah. So if we just reply to Janice.
Well, you just send
only,
it out BCC and you're blind copying everyone, and then you just do reply and it goes back.
then they can't reply all.
Yeah. Trust me, we have people in my company that do that.
All right,
But we
Catherine.
can make, like I
Make
said,
a
I'll make a
motion.
motion to accept the short-term rental ordinance as amended.
Second.
Motion is second. Any other further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion passes.
Mine's in my folder if you have to take a
I
peek
I
too.
was just gonna say,
He has the writing.
That's a lot of work, but Pat
Yeah,
did to
good
write that.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good job. Good luck.
What
No,
we
if you-
just did,
yeah,
I
just
can't
give me a
imagine
call.
having to write the whole thing from scratch.
Oh, wait, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me do this.
And that reminds me.
So if
we're on
you do-
record still.
Okay. Yeah, but I'll just have it on my phone. That's fine. Yeah. Well, it's just if you call me in the middle of the day, I may not have it. Just follow the arrows.
Now, we have to have a public hearing on these, right?
Yes.
And it's gotta be,
The posting for it, public notice will have to be out 10 days before, so it'll be at our next meeting.
right, but the public hearing has to be so many days before, town meeting.
Yeah, and your next meeting will fulfill that.
We'll do
That
that.
will be the last one.
We got her done. Thank you, Pat.
That dragged on for a while. Yeah, if Pat
Hold
didn't
on.
do all the work,
lost
we'd
all
still
my-
be looking at it.
Oh, we would.
I'm looking for the minutes to approve. Hold on.
It's not written up yet. Don't be so sure.
No, we had minutes to approve.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, hold on.
Maybe it was in our yellow packet?
No, it was on the table.
Hold on.
Is
Sorry.
it just one meeting or?
Yeah.
I did see my name on it.
We could hold on.
I'm wondering if we should hold off until the rest
I
of the
just-
board is here.
Yeah.
They can,
It
if
was
somebody wants a copy,
attached
they
to the
can,
agenda.
they can submit a draft.
Attached to the agenda, Eric.
Can't find the agenda either, so don't worry. There's the agenda. There's that.
Too many agendas.
Yeah.
And it was the November 12th meeting notice.
We can hold off on
Okay,
that until the.
Okay.
I can tell you right now, I'm gonna probably use yours.
Ha.
No, seriously.
Yeah, but look at mine.
I made some notes as well. Maybe you know.
Yeah.
I'll make a copy and give you.
Do you want mine?
Yeah, I think yours too. Well, then I'll give it right back to you as well.
Well, I'm just saying, between the three of us,
That's just not really acceptable for all intents and purposes.
it might.
Work.
One second. This is Christine's. Better put the name at the top.
Yeah, and I crossed off.
They all look as bad as mine do.
So the first one I just crossed off and put use Laconia.
See, and this is Eric.
The what is the first line definition?
Yeah.
Definition. I just crossed it off and said use Laconia.
I did too. That's what I wrote beside it, is
And
use
that's
Laconia.
okay. I mean,
Because that's, yeah.
this is yours there. I have a copy. Let me make sure, yeah. And I'll make yours, and then I think I might be able to, because I have mine too. I think
You'll be
It'll be
good.
fine.
it'll say it'll be
You'll
the
be
spirit
good.
of the ordinance.
And we're gonna do the minutes next time.
Yeah, we're gonna move the minutes
This took way too much time
Oh.
for me. Guess I won't be working tonight.
November 12th to our next meeting. When's our next meeting?
Fourth Tuesday, week after next. Right?
28th.
If I don't write it down.
28th.
My phone
Is
beats
that
me
6
every
o'clock?
Tuesday.
Planning board.
I was gonna say
6.
planning board.
Okay. Take Dad to my
Oh,
doctor's.
January 28th
Thank you.
at 6 p.m. right here.
Yeah, I leave. Yeah, and I left it in there because that way I know when I get here, everything's there.
All right.
And
I could probably put this in there too because it'll be here when I come, right? Put that in my folder because. Oh, can you put it on the top? Because that'll be next. Yeah.
All right.
we need to folder back.
I emptied my folder.
Okay.
Is it a motion to dismiss?
No,
Right, motion
Whatever
to.
we need.
Not yet.
I'll just have it in there. This was
It's not in there. It's you have
I was
it.
waiting for fearless leader.
So when we have the April meeting, do you want to keep that there, or are you going to look at it?
I'll look at
Oh, you
it.
want it in your folder?
Well, they'll throw it out. We'll be good. This is I need this for
April 8th.
January.
No, April 8th.
I know. January 28th and April 8th.
Okay.
Planning board.
That's what I just did, is wrote notes all over my envelope.
All
I
right.
thought mine was clean.
We have someone named Cindy online. Do you have any?
I don't know.
Hey guys, this is just Cindy from Land Use.
Oh, hi, Cindy.
Oh.
I don't know.
I've been sitting at Portsmouth Hospital with my husband listening to the meeting.
How's he doing?
Well, no, let's not say that over the meeting because it becomes a public
Yeah.
record. So
Yeah.
no offense to
That's
your husband.
that's all we're saying.
No, thank you. I
Just me listening in, that's all.
if you're at
Have
the
a good
hospital,
night, guys.
Good night.
Thank you very
Cindy.
much. I just don't want to get it in the record that.
You are a wise man. I just was anxious
All
to.
right.
ask
Anything
a
else to
question
come
I
before
shouldn't
this
have.
board this evening? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Non-debatable. All those in favor, say aye.
I.
Aye. Have a nice day. We are adjourned at 7:59 p.m.
So now after she